Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DLPOV, and welcome back to another week of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Diamond is Unbreakable. Now, if you don't know me, like I do overviews of these episodes. If you are reoccurring viewer, welcome back. This episode actually caught me quite by surprise because I remember in the manga that for me it felt a little bit long and dragged out. Despite me liking the fight and how it concluded, I thought this was going to take up 2 episodes or at least 2 episodes and up to 3 episodes. I thought. I'm happy that they concluded the fight within one. So huge props on that because it didn't feel rushed out either. Like it felt well paced. So let's get into the overview and what happened in this episode. We start off by having Koichi run over a bag making a cat noise and seeing blood coming out of it with his bicycle. Now this guy Tamami, who's sitting by the chair, he guilt trips him to the point where a lock shows up in his chest. Koichi, having unlocked his stand egg, can now see stands and notices the physical manifestation of this lock. So he informs this guy Tamami about it. Tamami notices, understands, oh shit, this guy probably has a stand then, so it's better that I finish him off right away. So he tries to guilt trip him to the point where the lock becomes too heavy for him. Luckily, Okuyasu and our boy right here, Josuke, they see this going on and they step in to help him. Okuyasu, not being a smart guy and acting by heart, he punches the guy because of his anger. And the guy, Tamami, he pushes himself to the point where he falls on the curb and breaks his teeth. Therefore guilt tripping Okuyasu to look, you did this, I don't even have insurance. And that was smart of him. And you could tell that this is kind of how he got around, how he works his way around people. He guilt trips people to get money and scum his way into getting money from them. And Josuke being our smart protagonist, him coming in, him opening the bag, where that, so to say, that Koichi run over, and it was just like a little stuffed animal with blood gushing out of it. So it's is this the cat that you run over, Koichi? So the locks and Koichi goes away, and he just grabs the tooth that Tamami dropped, and using Crazy Diamond, he puts it in there and fixes it, so Okuyasu has no guilt anymore. Now, Tamami scums his way out of Koichi's, I think it was, 7,000 yen? And he scums his way to the point where when he's giving it back to Koichi, because Yosuke and Okuyasu are there, he just shreds up the tips of it, on the numbers, so it looks, and he puts it in the wallet, so it looks like the money was still in there. They notice that after opening the wallet that he just gave them the strips. And as Koichi's heading home later, he sees that this Tamami guy's in the house, and he's giving his mom a back rub, and and this turns into a fuck fest to the point where Tamami lies and tells him I fell down, I met Koichi earlier, I accidentally took his wallet and he accidentally took mine. And this guy Tamami, he's good, he's a smart guy. He claims that that in his wallet he put he had a shit ton of money, and of course Koichi doesn't have it in his wallet. He buys a similar wallet to Koichi's to make it look like he switches wallets with Koichi's, and he's yo, and I'm sure that's my wallet. You know why? Because yesterday I went to this restaurant and I paid so much money on this food, and this is what, and the price, and this is the exact price. So Koichi looks into the wallet and there's the receipt. This motherfucker Tamami put the frigging receipt while he had his wallet. While he met Okuyasu and Josuke, he put the receipt in there because he knew he was gonna give the wallet back, I guess, or just a worst case scenario, he put it in there. So now Koichi's mother is in shock because because she has to pay all this money back to this guy. And then then Koichi's sister walks in with a lock on her as well. And Tamami explains to Koichi like, oh yeah, like I made her drop some tea on me and made it look like I got my skin burned. And Koichi has to think fast. He's upset because his mother is like doesn't believe him. He's like she feels guilty as fuck. His sister feels guilty as fuck, and he ends up like just telling like, you know what, go to the other room, go to the other room, please. Like I'll be done in a second. Koichi gets angry. He activates his Super Saiyan form. Holy shit! Like his hair spikes up, and his stand egg breaks out and we get his stand echoes. I'll be honest with you, when I read this in the manga, when throughout the entirety of part 4, I wasn't a fan of Koichi. The anime is doing a good job in making me like Koichi more. Koichi stands echoes, starts pounding on like Tamami, punches him. Tamami's like, what the fuck? Your stand is useless. Like it doesn't hurt me. It can barely scratch me. But then we notice like these kanji marks on his face. Like I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. Like, and then the sounds that are written down, which is like smack, slam. He starts hearing it in his head. So Echo's ability is to basically the noise that he puts on that he sticks on his face, the person will hear it within their body. It'll echo within their body, and it can drive them to the point where they go insane. So Tamami grabs a knife, he stabs himself. The mother and the sisters come in. He tosses the knife. Koichi catches it. The whole scene looks like Koichi stabbed Tamami, and the mother is feeling so guilty to the point, and we get this explanation through Tamami as well, that when a person feels so much guilt, they lose their will to live. So like Koichi's mom is gonna kill herself. She feels so guilty that she's gonna kill herself. And this is something that I completely forgot that echoes could do, and that is the fact that it can also echo a term throughout somebody's body, phrases. So what Koichi ends up doing is he ends up plastering "believe me" on his mother, and that echoes through her body, and she starts to understand like, okay, I need to believe my son. My son is right, and the lock just falls apart, and like Koichi's like he's happy. He goes to Tamami, he's gonna fuck him up, and Tamami's like, oh, I'll go worse on your sister, so you better stop. And he's like, oh, I don't care. Like I know you're not gonna do worse to her because I'm going to do worse to you before you get to her. And Tamami freaks the fuck out. He lets the lock fall out, and it turns to the point where, long story short, Tamami is now working for Koichi, and Koichi doesn't really want it. He jokes about it a little bit at the end of the fight, but like at the end of the episode, he doesn't really want it. But Tamami's like fucking scared, and like he owes Koichi for it, so he's kind of his slave now. And yeah, great episode. Absolutely loved it. Animation on point. They're doing these, like they're keeping the tradition of keeping these filters in between. So absolutely love that. The little filters that they put on when the characters are shocked, absolutely love that. The pacing was a bit fast, but not that it bothered me, because I felt that this story otherwise felt a bit dragged on, despite me liking the fight in the conclusion. It felt a little long in the manga, in my opinion. So I like that it was a little bit sped up to the point where we got what we wanted out of the story in this one episode. Otherwise, I fear that this part 4 is otherwise going to be one frigging long part if we do everything the way that I thought that they were going to do. So I'm glad that they're keeping it to one episode, which in a way is also a little bit like Stardust Crusaders did, and Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency also did. So yeah, great job on that. Value to the overall plot. Well, we got the reveal of Koichi stance echoes, which is quite interesting. Doesn't it remind you of Cell like from Dragon Ball Z? Like, first of all, yes, it was influenced by I think uh, Paulo. Shit, I think that the author, yes, was influenced by the by Dragon Ball Z throughout this period. That's why Red Hot Chili Pepper had this little bit of a Frieza look. No, had this little bit of a Cell look, and I feel that echoes also, like the tail especially looks like Cell, and Koichi does remind me a little bit of Gohan. So yeah, we got the reveal of Echoes. We got an introduction to a new character, Tamami. I don't know if he plays an important role or if he doesn't. Like, actually, I do know, but I'm just not gonna tell you because spoilers is for at the end of this video. So overall, great episode. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 doing an absolutely great job yet again. We're still getting hyped about JoJo every week, and if you are an anime only viewer, then I'm just going to warn you, this is the spoiler part. This is going to start the spoiler part of my video. So thank you for watching. If you don't want to watch the spoilers, thank you for watching. Hit that like button down below. What do you like about the video, the episode? Are you excited for next week's chapter? I didn't read the title card for this one, so I kind of want to leave it for a surprise for myself as well. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week. Come back. Now, spoiler section. I'll give you 3 seconds to leave in case you're still there. 1, 2, 3. We are good. Spoilers ahead. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, this design from the manga right on reminded me of Cell. Red Hot Chili Pepper reminds me of Cell's first form. The first appearance of Red Hot Chili Pepper didn't, but like the final design did. And this echoes part 1 does remind me of Cell, especially because of the tail. That's what gives it away. What gives it away. The color as well. The green color with the tail reminds me of Cell, especially with the orange tip that looks like a little bit like the injection that Cell used to suck the life out of people. And yes, Koichi reminded me of Gohan. That's where the author got the inspiration from. Overall, I'm looking forward to like the next couple of weeks. Like, please Pearl Jam. I haven't watched the title card, so I didn't know if that's what we're getting next week or not. But I want to see that because I want to see Spaghetti Cat punched. Overall, still great. And yes, the lock being one of those stands that was pretty interesting. Like, I don't mind. I feel that this episode was solely for Koichi's development because we got his stand introduced. We were not told about the evolutions of it, so we are not in nowhere informed about him getting other versions of it. So I'm curious to see how the crowd's going to react to it. I was surprised when I saw that Echoes got a second part, and I was even more excited when I saw Echoes 3 because he had a more humanoid type of stand form. And we know when that one, we know which battle occurs when that one pops up. So, yes, great episode. There's one more thing that I want to mention about, and that is, yes, that I'm starting to like Koichi's character a lot more. Throughout the manga, I wasn't too keen on him. Koichi now, in being animated, I think it's more of like seeing him in movement, and echoes also the way he interacts. His actions look so much better. Like, I feel that this anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, just like Naruto, they do an amazing job in making the manga that much better. So that's all I want to say regarding spoilers, because like I haven't reviewed the manga yet, so I don't know how much homage they pay to the original source. And if anything, just hit that like button down below, comment down, put spoilers first of all, like in all caps, put in spoilers, like hit up spoilers, and then comment what your favorite part of the episode or what you're looking forward to next week. My name is DLPOV. I do reviews of manga, anime. I also made a Captain America Civil War review, spoiler and non-spoiler, 2 separate videos. If you're interested, go check that out. Absolutely love the movie if you want to know the short version of it. And I'm doing this every week, and it happened on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. Diamond is Unbreakable. Thank you for watching. See you next time.